Here we're going to look at the ranking option, and this could be really useful for a question which requires some kind of sequencing. That might be in experiment, putting the right elements of the experiment in the right order. It could be for processes, for example, in geography, I'm thinking, or timelines for history, for example. So let's have a look at how we do this. Again, we go to add new, and this time we're going to go right over to the down arrow here and click more, and I'm going to go to the ranking. You can see the arrows up and down. So what this basically means is that you build in a set of responses, and then when the question is presented to the students, it's in the wrong order, and they have to move the options or the responses up or down in order to create the correct order. So key thing here, set options in the correct order, so you build it in with the correct responses, and when you share the quiz, the options will appear in a random order, and I'll show you what that looks like for the student and the user experience in just a moment. So I'm going to pause this and quickly build out a question so that we can have a look at what it looks like. Okay, so this has been created now. I've put my question in there and I've put the responses in the correct order, and it's really important that we remember to do that. So then what does that look like when we go to preview? If we remember, we've got Berlin there at the top, Los Angeles at the bottom, so it goes Berlin, Mexico, Munich, Moscow, Los Angeles. If we go to preview and then go down to the bottom, we can see that they have been moved. So Munich, Berlin, Moscow, Mexico, okay, Los Angeles at the bottom. That's just by chance. And you can also see over the top, the bottom, the right hand side here, you've got the option to move it up or down. So I can just, if I'm on a PC, I can just click it and hold the mouse down and drag it along, or I can use the arrows to do that. So Berlin, Mexico, Munich. Well, there we go. That's the correct answer. I happen to know that. And so that's what it looks like for the user. Let's go to mobile, have a look what it looks like here. Again, you can use the arrows, or they can just touch. In fact, that's what they would do on the phone or the iPad, is just touch and move it around. So it's a really good one, I think, to be using, as I said, for sequencing, for experiments, for processes in the right order, for timelines, for historical data, etc. So something to be mindful of. One last thing, just going back to the points here. You might decide that it's 1 mark if they get it all right. You might decide it's 5 marks if they get it all right. What you need to be mindful of, though, again, at the time of making this video, is that, as far as I'm aware, the student has to get the response absolutely correct in order for them, for example, to get the 5 marks. So it could be that they put Berlin and Moscow and Los Angeles in the right place, so 3 out of 5 might be right, but those 2 might be in the wrong place. And I think I'm right in saying that the computer, the forms will not give any marks for that, because clearly not 5 out of 5 have been done correctly. So that's where, when you come back to grade it, and we'll make another video to look at grading, you can override the response of the computer and put in perhaps the 3 out of 5 marks. Just something to be mindful of. But this, I think, is a really great option in terms of assessing our students in a slightly different way.